Alright, this video shows how to create a sketch with arcs and circles, and giving those their appropriate location and size. So I'm just going to start with a couple lines. I'm going to draw like an L shape here. I'm not going to put anything up there. No, let's make those 2 inches each. Or let's make that one 2. Let's make this one 1. And then I'll just go ahead and square it off so we have like a normal looking L. Alright, so that's fully constrained. My fully constrained is black instead of purple. So if I wanted to add an arc to the top of this or to this side, I'll come up here to the arc tool, and there's 3-point arc, there's tangent, there's arc with a tangent, and there's arc using a center point. If I'm going from one corner to the other corner, then I don't really have a center point to use. So, and it really doesn't matter which one you use, because the good thing about Inventor is that you can put it in and then you can adjust it afterwards, as opposed to AutoCAD, where you kind of have to put it in the right way the first time. So if I use a 3-point arc, let's say I want this to be 180 degrees, and click 1, 2. My first 2 clicks are the outsides, and then notice as I drag this up and down, when I get to right there, there's tangent constraints that come up on the bottom left and bottom right. So that's showing you that it's tangent, which means that it will be 180 degrees. But let's say I didn't make it tangent, right? So I have this purple line here, purple arc here, which is not fully constrained because I can still move it. So I can do a few things here. One, I can give it a radius, and that will fully constrain it. All right, 0.131. From this side thickness is 0.25. So half of that would make my radius 0.125, which would be what I need to make this a semicircle. So if I made this 0.125, that would give me a 180 degree arc. I could take that out, and I could add in that tangent constraint. This is kind of a higher level skill than what you've learned as of yet. So I'm making this arc tangent with this line, and that also fully constrains it. All right, so there's 2 different ways that I can do an arc. I could have used the tangent to begin with. If I go to arc tangent from this point, from that point, and it locks it in because it assumes that it's tangent with the lines that it's connected to. Okay, so lots of options there. Let's say I wanted to put a circle on the end of this one, and I want it to be centered on this line. One cool thing is that Inventor typically picks up, just like AutoCAD, it typically picks up the center of lines. So if I scroll along here, it's yellow, yellow, yellow. Bam, there's a green dot, that's the middle. Click there, expand out. I can make my circle. Again, I'm putting the diameter, 0.5 in diameter. I want it to be the same size as that thickness of the L. I can make it 0.25 in diameter. You know, whatever I want to make it. And that's fully constrained. The important thing is when I'm making circles is that I do need to have, let's make that the same size. I do need to have a point that represents the center of that circle that I'm using in that creation. So there's points that exist, but I could also place it somewhere and then determine the dimensions that locate that point after the fact. So let's just say there's a circle just kind of up in space here. All right, so I have circle doesn't have a size, doesn't have a location. So I said 3 dimensions needed. So I can give it a diameter, say 0.25. And then I need to also give it a location. So right now I can grab this point and I can move it anywhere in this 2D space. So I can dimension center point to that line. Let's say I want it to be attached, which would mean it would be the radius part. So that'd be 0.125. And then I need one more, so the center point to the side. Let's make that 1 inch away. So now this circle is locked into place because I've defined that the center of the circle, the location of the center of the circle, as well as the diameter. I could also place a point first. Say I just place a point in space here, and I can dimension that point. Put in the center here. I say that's 0.5 away from there. And now I have a center point for a circle. So now I can just go to circle, start from that point, and expand out. The tangent constraint came up, so that locked it in place right there. So there's all these different ways you can make circles and arcs. Important thing is, especially for circles, you have to define the location of the center of the circle and the diameter. The arc, if you use the 3-point, you click on the 2 endpoints and then any point in between, and then you can dimension the radius of that arc or give it a tangent after the fact. I typically am not dimensioning arcs by their center point, but that is certainly a possibility as well.